Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio today with Bryan Leonard and Ralph Michaels. We're going to break down some NBA playoff action, and we're going to go to a Thursday night game. We actually got a series. One of these is looking like it might go the distance. You've got Boston at Milwaukee. Game 6, Milwaukee, it's a win or go home for them. Boston held serve at home, and the home team has won all 5 games. They haven't covered all 5, but they have won. Boston got the cover on Tuesday night by a point. I was on the other side. Didn't like that outcome. But I'll go to you first, Ralph. You look at this, and Boston was able to grind out that win to take the 3-2 lead. They haven't been shooting well in this series, though. Boston struggled 40, 41, and 42% from the field in the last 3 games. That's not usually the way you win ball games.
And 41.5 the first game of this thing. So 4 of the 5 games, they've shot 42% or less. You know, the difference in the last game was Marcus Smart. He is really called the soul of the team. He had been out for the last 3 weeks with a sprained ankle, so he missed the first couple games of the series. He had 9, 5, and 4 in his first game, but he really was a defensive presence. He's the leader on the defensive end of that team. And I look at, you know, they finally held Milwaukee to a reasonable number, actually a very good number, 36.8% last game. I think you go back to Milwaukee now. You, number one, have pressure on Milwaukee. You have Boston more knowing they could win, shooting only 40%, and you have Marcus Smart. I like the under in this game.
You go to it, and as Ralph said, they did have a big difference in the defense in Game 5. The 3 previous games to that, Milwaukee lights out, 59, 57, and 52%. And yet, as good as Milwaukee was shooting, you know, Boston was right there in Game 4. They had an opportunity to win Game 4, but they clamped it down in Game 5, 38%. But we talked about this last week when we did videos when the first number came out, and we said, what are they doing with the numbers? And I'm going to say it again here. With Milwaukee, you're paying a price if you want to bet Milwaukee in the must-win in Game 6.
Well, if you've been following the series, as you pointed out, the home team's won every game. And Milwaukee, 50% in the series from the field, and they're down. That tells you they're having a hard time here. The Greek Freak's been good. He hasn't been great. And they need him to be so good in this series. And they're doing it against one of the best coaches in the NBA. But when you take a look at Boston, they're winning because of hustle. They're averaging over 6 rebounds a game more than Milwaukee is. And that's what they're doing. They're following their shots up. Milwaukee's getting to the free throw line. They're not hitting the free throws. Boston's hitting a much better percentage from the free throw line. This is a series where Boston's got the better coaching. Boston has the better defensive players. Milwaukee's got the better athletes. Now, you would expect Milwaukee to have a really good game here, but like he says, you know, the pressure's on Milwaukee here. Boston's been able to win on the road all season long. Slight lean to Milwaukee, but not enough to make it a play for me.
All right, well, I'm going to go with the lean with Boston, and as you said, all of the pressure is on Milwaukee. This is a young team, and they've got a coach that's an interim coach, you know, with all of this pressure. I think Boston, they can come in here, they can play loose. They know that they're playing with house money in Game 6 because if they don't win it, they know they got Game 7 back at home again. But here's a stat with Milwaukee. As a home favorite this year of 6 points or less, which we're looking at the number right now, they're a 5-point favorite. They're just 4-15 against the spread. This is not a team that's been able to lay points because they don't play good defense, and you don't want to be laying points with a team that doesn't play good defense, especially against a well-coached team like Boston that's generally not going to beat themselves. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Boston plus the points here for my play on this one. And, guys, if you want to save $10 this week at WagerTalk, Slam Dunk 10. Use coupon code Slam Dunk 10 and you'll be able to save $10 on any package at WagerTalk. If you like our videos, do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and be sure to tell all your friends. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.com.